viewers? It's Big Dan, Road Dan. I'm coming to you live from the 215, your comic book connoisseur, your sommelier of sci-fi and superheroes, here to welcome you to an episode of BNR, My Barflies. How y'all doing? Yes. Actually, the sound didn't work. Oops. There we go. Sound worked now. That. We got a new system here, so I'm still learning. As y'all can see, I'm never by myself, and if I am, that's when y'all need to call the police. I am here with my two favorite choir sisters. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'll go first.
Okay.
They call me Cheddar.
Yeah.
As in cheddar cheese.
Yes.
Pleasure to be here. Do you see my
Blur bar
representation?
You want to applaud on that one?
Pleasure to be here.
Hello.
Hi, Angie.
This gonna be a long.
My name is Angie.
Yes, it is.
And that is an I and no E.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm happy to be here.
Have I been doing that wrong for so many years?
Probably.
Yes.
Okay. And I've never been corrected on it just because I'm the favorite little brother, so nobody tells me I'm wrong.
Yes.
They'll tell me I'm wrong a lot, but not that I'm incorrect. Anyway, fun fact, Angie, with an I, is Sensei's wife. So,
You've seen Sensei.
if you've seen Sensei, they're like two of my favorite older siblings, I would like to call them. Even though we're not blood related. None of us are blood related, but y'all family to
No,
me.
we family.
We all family.
We family.
Yeah.
So, Jayhawk and Cobb are out just for this evening.
Yeah,
but
I'm feeling some kind of way that they're not here. Like, how am I here and they're not here?
We're recording this on an evening when they're unavailable, and that just happens.
Tell them then we got to come back because I'm feeling some kind of way.
We got it.
that
We're
they're
going
not
to do
here.
something.
Okay.
So, as this is BNR, Booze, News, and Reviews, we got to jump into the booze.
Yes.
So,
I've been waiting.
by the time you've seen this title, you'll know what we're reviewing. And so, keeping in brand with reviewing The Woman King, we are reviewing Tambor Original Sodabi, a finely crafted palm liquor from the tropical coastline of Benin, West Africa. Tambor Original celebrates the proud roots and traditions of the region's liquor, twice distilled for superior quality, and then masterfully finished in small batches with American oak, hibiscus flowers, dates, honey, and other local tropical fruits, and spices for intensely smooth and uniquely African spirit. Taking a note from the world-renowned musical culture of the region, our Sodabi is a proud testament to the rigor, discipline, and complexity of the drumming beats that have graced the land for generations. It is with these values in mind that we present Tambor Original.
I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait. Oh, nah, nah.
You're not going to get me in trouble with this. We haven't started yet. So,
Are
just
we
to
doing
taste,
Okay.
you
We're
know,
going to taste.
Well, we gotta.
You gotta
Smell it first.
Smell
Take
with
the
the
notes
mouth
in.
open.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah, it smells smooth.
Now, I normally knock it back, but I'm learning now that we're in the new season of BNR to be a little bit more professional in
be
my
more
tasting. And so.
Woo.
Why is it so spicy?
Why is it spicy?
It's good.
Yeah, I taste the flowery note
Yes.
to it. Yeah.
You taste that oak, too.
Very spicy.
Yeah, that's why it's spicy too.
Yeah.
But no, those flower notes are real.
Now, see, I'm
do
telling
another.
you, I was getting ready to knock it back.
Oh, you can't.
I'm home, so it's
I know,
fine.
but this is you can still knock it back, but this one I think is more of
Is it sipping?
It's a sipper.
It's a sipping.
It's a sipper.
We're gonna see if it's a cocktail one.
Now,
but it's definitely a sipping.
As we are going, keeping in brand with our tagline, we serve up cocktails, culture, and content here. So for the cocktail, we did I want to make sure I'm getting this right, and I got it wrong.
Get it straight.
I believe we have a African lemonade.
Ooh.
So the ingredients will be presented somewhere on this screen in post.
Okay.
And its ingredients are lemon juice, simple syrup, Sodabi, and some filtered water.
Okay.
Served over a nice cubed circular ice cube, and yeah.
Okay.
Let
Now,
me know what y'all think.
is the simple syrup, did you make it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Homemade. I didn't make it. My wife made it. Shout outs to Tina.
Oh.
See, it's better. It's
Oh.
yes.
Better in a cocktail, ain't it?
Yeah, I think it is better in a
Yes.
cocktail.
That is nice.
It's it's not like a whiskey. It's a cocktail liquor. I mean, but I'll drink it straight.
You can get in trouble with this.
I know. I had one earlier today, and she was like, "It's going already," and I was like, "Mm-hmm."
Well, that's why you got the big ice.
That's
in
why I
there.
got the big ice. So,
That's nice.
Thank you.
if we were to rate this liquor by itself first, out of 5, how many? We call them guest chalices, right? How many guest chalices would you give him?
Well, it's giving me like a rye type of feeling, and I do not like rye, bourbon, or whiskey. So for me, straight, it's going to be a 2.
Okay.
But in the cocktail, it's a 5.
Okay.
I'm not a rye whiskey either.
Now
but
let's be clear. Let's be fair. That
This
this
is
is
not
a palm
liquor, yeah.
I
It's
know,
not-
but it's still
But
giving
it
me
giving you
it's still
vibes.
it's
I
giving her
understand
rye
it's giving you-
vibes.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm not a rye vibe person either, but I'm digging the
Excuse me while I knock this back.
flowery notes.
Yeah.
So straight, I'm gonna give it a 3.
Yeah.
But in the cocktail, yes, it's a 5.
Okay.
Very summery vibe to the cocktail.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm gonna just start with the cocktail first. I enjoy the cocktail. It's dangerous as a
Yeah,
problem.
Apparently,
Definitely a 5. I prefer the citrusy kind of cocktail. By itself, it's strong. Let me
Yes.
be clear. It's
Yes.
strong. It burned in a good way.
Yeah.
But
it's not a Kentucky hug though.
right, this is completely on the other side of the world kind of burn.
Yeah.
And so if you're not really expecting,
Yeah.
you know, if you expecting
Yes.
like a whiskey burn, you're not getting that.
No.
So
No, right. I would agree with that.
to be fair, that being said, and this is my first time having it, I'm gonna give it a 3. And I would honestly say try it before you take our opinion on it,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you might like that heat. This is a little bit of the sweat under the eyebrow type vibe. So, yeah, we're gonna move on.
Okay.
Okay.
First and foremost, before we get to news, what's the latest blurred thing y'all done in y'all past week?
Well, what I do right now, since going into Halloween, and y'all probably noticed about me, I like B movies. So I have been on I've watched a whole lot of like older Halloween type
On purpose too.
on
That's crazy.
purpose on Amazon
Lord help.
Prime and Netflix and the ones that made for Hulu. I've gotten my fill, and I'm quite enjoying myself. So that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
You didn't start the Jeffrey Dahmer John yet?
No, that's too. No. I don't want that. I want real
That's-
campy.
That she's saying that's like A-list almost.
Yes, I want real campy.
okay.
The corn syrup, blood type thing. Like they shooting it out of some type of a water gun out the body. Like that's what I've been
Lord
watching.
help us.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
It's stupid. It's like there's no way this could ever be true. Yeah, that's what I.
That's what she likes.
Right. And she'll be the one going to see the next Jamie Lee Curtis.
Of course.
Halloween
Oh, yes,
film.
I cannot wait.
Somebody's got to do it.
No.
I can't wait.
Okay, on to more important things.
Okay.
I am she-hawking it out.
Yeah.
Yes, have not yet started Andor, but I might add that to the list this weekend.
Andor, I had a pretty good time watching the first 3 episodes. I knocked them out pretty quick. They're about 35 to 30 minutes long. So
Is it worth it? Like, because, I'm reading that people are saying, why do we need to do this kind of offshoot of Star Wars?
I feel like the payoff would be bigger if this was post, Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
However, it's not. But this does give a interesting take on the world building of Star Wars. which I thought Book of Boba Fett was going to do, and it didn't. It was very self-contained.
It's very self, yeah.
And then it was Mandalorian season 2.5. So, it is what it
You
was.
gonna leave my man alone.
I said what I said. I stand by it. But Andor gives you more of like the espionage, cloak and dagger type vibe.
Okay.
And I think that works and would work if Rogue One did not already exist. This may boost Rogue One a little bit more, but it may not necessarily. I enjoyed Rogue One.
Rogue One is like my top 3.
I would agree. Rogue One is probably one of the best Star Wars movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is a companion to that, but I feel like with, Rogue One exists. So that drop already happened. We were there. We all watched it together.
Yeah.
And so that last scene where it ties into New Hope, and you're like, so you can't relive that again. You can watch it. Yeah, it was great, but at the same time,
Don't do that again.
Right.
Don't do that again. I'm sorry. We blurred out. Isn't that a blur?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what that was.
It was Darth Vader in a.
But why are you holding it like this?
Because that's what it seemed like. I'm at a table, so I couldn't stand up and show the sword going down. I had to show the sword going. Okay, I'm going back to.
So in other news, because I do have some news here.
Okay.
James Earl Jones has signed over the Darth Vader voice.
To who? To who?
And he's retiring from Star Wars.
I mean, it had to happen.
It's James Earl Jones.
Yeah, but with computer technology these days, they can piece together anything you need using his voice.
So
if he passes,
spoiler alert, but that was going to be the next part here.
Oh.
Was that they used a lot of AI programs to create the dialogue for performers. And so it's likely going to happen for him that AI will just generate future dialogue in his voice.
I'm okay with that.
So
just don't bring no new person.
There's likely going to be people who do scratch tracks over it, because that's just the way the industry works, is that someone can voice match him, and then, especially if you need to still get expression. Like AI can't really create expression. It can kind of just...
Well, that's a good point.
But
I better still hear this is CNN.
So also in other news for James Earl Jones, he has a theater now named after him.
No.
Isn't it in New York?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What's
is it the
playing
Court
there?
Theater, right?
We're going to go?
Isn't that the theater that they're doing Fences in? Is it no, the piano lesson?
Oh,
the
really?
one that Denzel's wife is directing.
Really?
Yeah, and Candy Burris is a producer on it.
Oh, I don't want to. Okay.
Yeah, I think is Denzel's son in it too?
These are things that I do not know, but it was formerly known as the Court Theater, which was where he performed his first lines on Broadway, and got renamed as James Earl Jones Theater.
That's what's up. So,
good for him.
That's what's up.
I mean, we call him one of the godfathers of blurredom, just because without him, I mean, I don't think I'd be a blurred without James Earl Jones doing Darth Vader and Mufasa. And, So, anyway, other news. I did have something here. People are less than excited with the most recent episode of She-Hulk due to the fact that they thought they were getting a Daredevil episode. For those who are still waiting for it to happen, it will happen in the season. Whether or not it pays off, just wait till 2024 when Daredevil Born Again comes out with 19 episodes, and you'll be okay.
It's coming, so why do we rush it?
Well, fanboys be fanboys out.
Yes, and they want money.
Yeah.
I mean, it was cool. I didn't watch this week's She-Hulk yet. It's on the list.
Well, I didn't
saw the end of the
and everybody was like, episode 5 is going to be, episode 6 was going to be, amazing. And So, last piece of news here from my neck of the woods. Grand Theft Auto 6 has been leaked, and possibly the culprit has been caught. The police officers arrested a 17-year-old in connection to the massive data breach, because normally video games like that are kept under wraps until they're prepared to release it. And this was a big gigantic breach of data that hit the internet.
Oh.
Well, they need the FBI or somebody needs to hire them.
Well, or you go to jail.
Or you go to jail.
Or you go to jail. That's how I'm looking at it.
I just want to hear the music.
I watch way too much TV, so I think somebody needs to hire him, and he becomes a spy, and he does.
That's not enough. That's not enough for me. He needs to go to jail.
We would never know that, but
you going to jail. You're going to jail. That's all I'm asking that you do is go to jail. Do you guys have anything else that you're possibly reviewing before we jump into this Woman King review?
No, I'm all ready for Halloween.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah,
okay,
she's
you
ready for Halloween. Yeah. Okay. Woman King.
Yeah.
I don't want away. I don't want away.
It was so weird because you didn't, like, I was telling people about it, and they were like, what were you talking about? What are you talking about? Because if you notice, there was not a lot of
press.
Nothing
There
about
was a few pieces
it was just high level because of who she is,
Right.
but it wasn't
Right.
like you didn't really know right? So I was like, I didn't really think anything of it, but then I was like, so when we sat down, we didn't know what we was going to get into, right? And from the moment we sat down, we were just
spellbound.
It was so emotional.
Before we throw any spoilers out, this
Yes.
is going to be the spoiler-free review. So what we do for the spoiler-free is just from 1 to 5. You tell me how you feel.
Okay.
And then we jump into the spoilers afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. So Angie, because you already started.
Oh, okay.
How you feeling? 1 to 5. 5 being the best. 1 being
10.
Okay.
Yeah,
but 1 to 5. That's what our
5.
scale here is 5. Okay.
5.
Okay. Adding
Point
numbers does not
5.
really help, or change anything because I said 1 to 5. That's how I started.
5. Don't.
I love you.
You want?
I love you so much.
All right.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
He will get y'all. You'll be a witness.
I don't want to be beat on camera.
I don't want to witness that.
I don't want to be beat on
Yes,
camera.
5.
Then I got to move out
Right.
the way.
Yes, 5.
Okay, Angie, 5.
I'm giving it 5.
Okay. I don't want to be the odd man out, but I'm gonna give it 4.5, and the reason I'll explain my reasons later on. It is what it is, but I mean that's a near perfect score, right? Just from the community here.
Yes.
Yes.
And so, spoiler alert. If you watch past this point, that means you've watched The Woman King and you want to hear how we feel about it. If you haven't, go watch The Woman King, then come back. That's the way YouTube works. You're able to pause it, save it, come back. Anyway, spoiler alert ahead. We'll just go down the line. I guess we'll discuss the plot very briefly here. In the 1800s, a group of all-female warriors protect the kingdom of Dahomey. I made sure I learned that right.
Yes.
They also help you in the movie because they say it the upwards of 30 times.
They
Yes.
do.
Dahomey.
that was the one name
Dahomey.
that I did know.
Dahomey.
Yes.
Dahomey
Dahomey.
and Oyo.
Yeah. Oyo.
Exactly.
In the homie.
Dahomey. We follow the movie from the perspective of General Naniska, and as she trains the next generation of recruits to fight against a foreign enemy that is determined to destroy their way of life. Now, I'm gonna just get the messy bits out of the way first, okay?
Yeah, let's do that.
We all know that the Kingdom of Dahomey in real life were more so villains of the story. When you think of the story of the slave trade, the West African slave trade,
Yes.
like any nation would that gives away people would be considered villains.
Yes.
And for the other side of people who buy those said slaves are also villains. So we're not mincing that or saying that this movie negates any of the history.
That's right.
This is a fictional movie.
Yes.
It has been worded by the director, Gina Price, by
the Wood.
By the Wood. Is it by the Wood or by the Wood?
I say by the Wood, but I don't know.
Okay. Gina has said on many occasions and in her interviews has said that this is considered edutainment. Like many movies in the past have been.
Oh, yeah. I like that word, actually.
Edutainment makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
Because y'all remember Cleopatra?
Oh. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it couldn't have been a true story.
No.
It couldn't have been. Y'all remember the 10 Commandments, right? There ain't no way.
Nope.
So let it be written. So let it be. Listen. Before y'all get uptight, and I'm saying y'all people who are watching this, edutainment is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the reality is that most times when you're capturing either a piece of history or folklore or any story that's been passed on through time, you will not get it 100% right.
That's
Right. Because you weren't living then.
No.
And you also have to make it exciting.
I was about to say, you
Well,
have to
that
spoon
too.
feed it. Yes.
Yeah.
You have to
Yes.
you have to
Yes.
to nurse this thing all the way up
That's right.
to the people's noses,
Right.
and and hopefully they latch on.
That's right.
So
Edutainment.
Yes, I like
y'all
that.
getting real upset about a fictional story.
No. You know why I think they're getting real upset is because, again, it's real history somewhat.
Right,
But
it's
that's
intertwined
coming
through
to
a
you.
fictional story.
Yes. And people don't want to, they still don't want that.
Right.
Right.
They don't want to know that.
They don't want to know it. Right.
And
you got to admit it. That,
yes.
Yes, black folks sold other black folks.
Yes.
They made money
You
off
know,
of it.
We've had how many movies about the battle at the Alamo?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the losers still come out the winners in that movie. I don't know how that happened, but I'm not
Edutainment.
edutainment
Uh-huh.
because they lost.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there. General Lee, he a loser. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that, really,
Yeah.
because I would rather people go and read their history. Not, you know what? I can't say that. Don't go read your history books because it's probably written by a white person, and
That's
it probably
right.
won't have a real history.
Right.
You got to do
But
a lot of
you
research.
gotta
gotta
do your own research.
That's it.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
Because the fact of the matter is that history is often written by the victors, and if we was down at that point,
Yes.
a lot of things can be said, and there's going to be contradictions in history based on the fact that you don't know who did what.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
At the same point, for a movie that highlighted black African women, strong African
Yes.
Right.
women,
Right.
That did not have to show anything.
That's right.
That did not have to have any type of sex.
they didn't.
That didn't
Right.
have.
That's
They
true.
didn't have to do none of that.
Although I will argue, and this is where my
What?
my minus 5 points came in.
Mm.
They took the Tyler Perry route with the light skinned boy in his shirt.
No.
And
There's
his-
no, they
and his
didn't.
pokey- and
That
his-
was no.
and his
that
pokey
was
nipples.
no.
I didn't like it.
That was
He
that
came out
was,
too pretty. I
No,
didn't like it.
honey, that was how it was.
Yeah.
I know, but he
Yes.
came out
Because
too pretty. That was
his
just my
mother,
personal-
his mother was
was mixed.
stolen.
I
His-
got
Yeah,
it.
he
I-
was
I-
mixed.
So that's what it
Yes.
was.
I couldn't get. Oh, I couldn't shake it. He
Oh,
was
my
too pretty.
goodness.
Oh my
He was too
word.
pretty of a man, and I was just like, that's
I
not what
was sitting there thinking about who else could have played him because I was like, this guy ain't doing it for me.
That's what I'm saying. I was
thought-
like, you could have got Davy
I
Diggs.
didn't
I was
even
like,
care about that.
you know what it was?
I
I was like,
mean-
if this little fake Lafayette,
I said David Diggs. I said David Diggs could have did that. Or
he
no,
showed up
or
Anthony Ramos.
Anthony Ramos.
It could have been
Exactly.
anybody. It could have been anybody.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
I thought he was going to come out and break out in song and be like, what did I miss? And I was like,
David probably couldn't do it because he is a little older looking. But Anthony
nah, yeah.
Ramos could have did it.
well,
this kid just looked young.
the actress who
like,
played, and I want to make sure I got her name right, Thuso Debu.
Nawi?
Debu, who plays Nawi.
Mhm.
She's actually 30-something. Played a 19-year-old.
Wow.
I was like, you know what? We don't crack
Because
out
black
here.
don't crack.
Yep.
But,
Don't crack.
yeah, other than that, I really wasn't hung up on his character, but I was just like, he irked me every time he came on screen.
You know what? I think that was probably because you don't like him because I didn't even care about him. Like I
Yeah,
just
he just, for whatever reason, the story slowed, and these are my last complaints before we
Yeah.
just gush over the movie.
yeah.
The movie started to hit a lot of the military movie beats for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not tropes,
Mm-hmm.
because for whatever reason, this is the formula for military movies, so that way you can get that up and then that down. So
But that was the edutainment part
Yes.
of it, because
that's what I'm saying. It was the beats.
Andy and I were saying that too. Like, oh, here we go. Now we got to do the romance connection, right?
Yep.
And I was like, it's still a Hollywood movie, right? Like, so that to me,
But that's what I said.
all that
it was the
element
beats.
was.
Izogi, like she was too lovable, and I was like, I saw it. I saw the shadow.
I
and
actually
I
didn't see the shadow
But
until closer.
I saw it because I just kept saying I like this character so much, and I was like, "There's no way that if these are warriors, she makes it out of it."
Well, especially when she pulled out that whiskey, I said, "Oh, that's my girl right there."
But everything else from the cast to location to the realistic in combat. Because they didn't do a lot of like parkour. There was no wire stunt, like a bunch of wire stunts.
Yes.
What did you think about, every time we see slavery movies, especially when you see people go up on the auction block, it's showing them all out.
Right.
In this, there was a point where they cleaned them up.
Yeah.
And you could tell they weren't wearing anything then. But for every other scene where it was like somebody on an auction block or like kind of off to the side, caged, they were garbed.
Yes.
And I love that we did not have to show everything and dehumanize it, right?
Yes.
So that to me was a very powerful point too, because I can't think of any other slavery movie that I've ever seen that we didn't see everything hanging out and showing all we got.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't watch a lot of those. I've never seen Django. I just won't do it because they took all of, of course the whole, being enslaved is, the
Humanity,
utmost,
right.
But every time you see it on film, it's always the worst. Not to say that it was something good about it, but it's always in your face, dehumanizing. And I'm good enough with the books, with the history and stuff like that. I don't need to see it on camera. But I love that about this movie. It was just, and what I found before the movie, when they were talking about, I'm just going to go off a tangent real quick, when they showed the preview for Till and how that producer said, you won't see him, beat up. Like, you won't see any of that. That's already been done. I don't want that. I want you to see this from another point of view. And that kind of foreshadowed what we were going to get in The Woman King.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I think they did that on purpose. They did that preview on purpose. So I would like to know if they did that in every movie theater to show that. I'm sure they should have, because they want people to come out to see Till. But I did notice that.
That's a good point.
But I'm sorry, were you done, Dane?
No. I mean, we're just talking. I'm here.
Oh, we're just vibing.
You got notes.
I've got notes.
So I'm gonna let Cheddar talk.
Yes.
And she can tell us how she feels about this movie.
So there were so many themes that I thought carried over to present day, right?
Okay.
There was one particular scene when Naniska was talking to Nawi, and she basically was saying, you got to be better, right? Like, you gotta push through. What I got from that was what we do today, right? Like, in today's corporate world, we got to show that we better. We do better. You
can't do what everybody else does.
Right. Yep. We got to be above. You know what I'm saying? So that theme stood out a lot to me. I did a lot of reading about, like, the homie after this, like, where they fell in the whole slave trade thing. Like, did the palm oil thing really pick up? And apparently they did kind of get away from slavery after a while, but
I mean, it was like almost 1900.
Yeah, well, eventually
they were actually the last kingdom to really, like, stop.
And it was also because of where they were positioned, like, because they had that access to the port.
Benin.
Right. Yep. So see, I told you I didn't remember names and all that kind of
stuff.
No.
I mean, that was the whole point of this, because I know that port is famously known for all of its exports, and it's actually the last place where the last slave was.
Got it. Yep. So I did find out in some of that research that actually Britain, and this kind of ties back to the Queen, because the Queen
Took that dirt now. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus. They got out of the slave trade in 1833. And this was set in the 20s. So they, I guess, kind of got out earlier than a lot of folks did. Britain.
Britain?
Yeah.
Out of the slave trade? Who can say? You know.
Okay, all right. Well, apparently they passed something in 1833.
You know what they also did? They upgraded from slavery to colonization. Okay.
Right.
Well, okay.
They were like, we can't do slaves anymore. How about we just go over there and conquer?
We're going to conquer.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not this episode. That's not
what we're talking about.
That is not this episode.
No, it is not.
That is
it
not this show.
Okay, so the other themes that stood out to me. The girl who was the sidekick to the woman king. You know, the priestess chick.
Amenza.
Okay, yeah. I always kind of wrestle with this whole idea of gods versus one god. You know what I mean? But I love the fact that there's always like the sidekick girl. You know what I'm saying?
There's always a side, especially in military movies. There's always that one with the more straight line of thinking.
Right. Who's the reasoner, right?
The logic.
Or the person who's also going to tell it like it is too, right? Like she ain't going to do it in front of the king.
Yes.
But she going to pull you to the side and be like, well, I did what you told me to do, right?
Yes.
So I think the relationships, so the relationships between the girl, the side girl, you know, the ride or die girl, as I would like to call her. And then the familial relationships as well, right? We in spoiler time, right?
Yes.
So when you find out that Nawi is actually Naniska's daughter, and it was like early on, like you didn't have to wait until the point where she proves it to her that she's her daughter. Like you knew when the side rider die chick was like, oh, somebody from your past is coming back, and it's gonna create this issue, and that's what the nuts are saying. Yes. So I mean, just crazy. Like, so the fact that she did not, you know, Woman King did not give up on her. That whole scene of now he's gone. Where's she at? Well, I'm gonna go get her because I know where she at, and I'm gonna go after her. Right. The familiar relationships. One last thing I wanted to mention, and that was the king. I love John Boyega. I love him. I think he's gorgeous. I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I hated.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I hated him in this character.
Really?
Yes.
I hated him in this character.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I felt. Can I cuss? No, I'm not gonna cuss because people. I'm a singer. I can't be cussing. On recorded video.
It's the way you were like, can I cut?
No.
It's all right. You want me to hold the beat button?
No.
I can hold the beat button.
I felt
so
that he was a wuss, but y'all know what I'm saying.
He was supposed to be.
Now, historically, he is.
Yeah.
He was a wuss.
That's the way.
Yeah.
And I didn't appreciate that. And the way the way he came across in acting that, he got knocked down a peg.
I think what he did was he did it.
To the role.
Yes, he committed to the role
because I thought his acting was phenomenal because he was playing a specific character.
Yes, so that means he did an A1 job.
John, I still holler at you, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I he did if you felt that way, he did his job.
I couldn't stand the king. I couldn't stand him and his little chicks. Yeah. All the wives, the main wife who wanted to just be the one chick. I couldn't stand it.
Well, I watch I don't want to say a lot, but I do watch African like soap operas and stuff. And when you find that the man has so many wives, it definitely looks, those examples that we saw on the Woman King, it's just like that. You always have one that's a real bee, and you have one wife that's real meek and, and scaredy. And that's what I saw. I was just like, oh, she need to leave because she's out here just for fame and fortune. I was tired of her.
Well,
That
I was
first
tired
one.
of her.
I was tired of her.
Yeah, I was tired of her too.
But I loved it. I loved the movie. It was what I said on Facebook was it was like an emotional roller coaster. We laughed, we cried, we hollered. Well, I hollered at the movie many times.
Several times. I was right next to her. Several times.
Yes, and
we cried together.
Yes,
We
yes,
did.
yeah. It was very.
I cried, but I cried silently only because I was sitting with Josh, and Josh, anybody that know Jayhawk, he a G. But, me, this one eye was just running, and I was like, I don't know why this is happening. But luckily, the gentleman sitting next to me was knocked out sleep. But he's likely in the uppers between like 75 to 80 something.
Oh, that was a bedtime.
He was past his bedtime. It was like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have been awake.
Oh.
So the Weather Channel was not on, so he was asleep. But I remember I laughed because I felt like some of the moments felt like tropes, and you were just like, okay, you kind of see this coming. I think if there are any awards that do get doled out, one should be going to Lashana Lynch.
All of them.
For Izogi.
All of them.
Yeah.
Here's my issue.
But I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished though. But I wasn't finished.
I know. Go ahead.
Oh, she wasn't finished.
Go ahead.
He's going to table his.
Because I was going to say I love Viola, but it was hard to really give her. I didn't really feel Naniska was a person by her delivery. I love watching Viola act, and so she'll give you the cry, she'll give you the runny nose, and she'll emote strongly.
No. See, that's where I was going to go.
Go ahead.
Looking at her and playing this role. Yes, woman king, right? You hear king, you hear top, you hear strong, you hear that. But then on the other side of that is a woman. What women, yes, we are strong, but we are also sensitive. We are also emotional creatures. We are also nurturers. So I think she was, every step of her way, she was always fighting her whatever the natural urges are to love and protect, but then she knows that there is another goal out here. We have to get our people right. We got to go this, we got to do that. So it was always that. So I love seeing that. I love seeing those times where she was like, she really wanted to fall to her knees and scream and holler, but she can't because she is the leader of these warriors, right?
No, and that's when I wanted to quantify my statement by saying she delivered on all points of the role. However, there's always that one thing that allows your brain to forget that this is an actor that you love watching, or just seeing the same actor or actress playing the part. And I feel like for me, I saw what I always see from Viola, which is a extraordinary performance, but she wasn't Naniska to me.
Well, see,
that was just me.
Well, but I haven't seen her. I haven't seen a lot of her movies. Okay. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know any of that.
And that's once again, I'm probably a bigger fan of Viola.
Yeah.
How to get away
well,
with
no, it's not being a fan or not. It's just the type of movies that she's in. I don't run to watch.
Run to watch. No,
right?
I get that, yeah.
So it's not.
Fences, right?
I did actually watch that on cable last year. So it was just
I've
a lot.
Every How to Get Away with Murder episode.
See, I didn't watch any of those.
Yeah.
The Help, Widow.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. Okay. So it was, for me, it was that character she brought to life, and I didn't. But see, I tried not to bring other things into it, but it's hard. It's definitely hard. It's definitely hard. But and the other part I liked about it was once she realized, like, she always knew she had a connection to her daughter, because as a mother, when you have children, you have that natural connection. They always say, even if your child was taken away from you, like, for some reason, whatever. So she knew she had some connection, and she didn't know what that connection was, right? Until she figured it out. And until once her ride and die was telling her, and then she saw especially when she saw the guy,
Yeah, the dude.
she was like,
all of it kind of came together.
right.
yes,
right.
and it went, and so I definitely I don't want to say I enjoyed it, but I saw it. I saw it like when it hit her, and it was just like, it was a gut. It was a punch to my gut, because I am a mom, and it was just like, oh my God, because her being a woman, I'm sure even though they weren't allowed to date, they weren't allowed to have children, she already had a child. So that was always a loss. So she's going through this, being this warrior,
Keeping it a secret.
Keeping it a secret, but then you have that guilt, or that you're grieving. So I mean, that's where I was coming from with it. It was just amazing to watch.
Yeah, it definitely went through all of the emotions, and I think it handled them properly, without being stereotypical.
Yes.
Which we often see when it's our movies.
Yes.
This was, like I said, with the exception of Lafayette, Dollar General, everybody else came and delivered on this movie.
You gonna leave Malik alone?
Shout outs really quick, just like watching it and seeing people that I've watched on social media just do what they've been doing for so long. Shayna West, I don't know if you guys are familiar with her. Her handle on Instagram is the Samurider, which she just does weapon videos and just like her flipping with swords and sticks and all that stuff. And then she got casted for this movie to be one of the Agoji. And she didn't have like a bunch of lines, but she was definitely in the movie and you could see it. And I was just like, this is so cool. Like, finally somebody saw how amazing you are on, social media, just, and how deadly you are with weapons. And it was like, let's get her in a movie. And I was like, sure. Like I said, Lashana Lynch probably, I mean, given this movie, I think she's been in 3 movies this year?
Yeah, but she tends to play the same kind of role.
She was.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Izogi was it for me. I was like,
Okay.
she brought.
I mean,
the
she
hu-
was a
she
double
brought me-
O, though.
She brought the humor,
Yeah.
the claws. She's out here taking out people's eyes with her fingers.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
then the line with her breaking her arm.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Right.
Yes.
They was pushing it on. She was like, now it was like touching it. I was like, don't
she
do
was
that.
Like, no, that's it. Come on, we go. But how about that? Like, that was pretty powerful too.
Yes.
So
She was like, don't let them.
you work as a team,
Yeah.
right? And when your leader tells you to do something, you just do it,
Yeah.
right? And then now he says, nope, I'm gonna go back and help the girl to get
Right.
to the next level. Well, why'd you do that? Because I'm not gonna leave her behind. That's my friend. So that
And
was
then
pretty
for it to
powerful
double
too.
back
For
and
that to
then-
double back on her to come
Yes.
back and say, okay, I'm gonna come back for you, and then
Yeah.
Yes.
and
Yep.
that's it. Like,
That's where my tears came from. And that was the scene. There we go. That's
Yeah.
I was trying
Yeah.
to. I had blocked it out of my mind because I was like, "Doug, don't cry." So, but I think for all the action sequences, I think, and just bringing this all full circle, I think the movie itself is a movie that I cannot wait to watch with my daughters when they become old enough. That's
Yeah.
about 20 years from now.
yeah, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
minute.
Yeah.
But I'll blow all blow the Blu-ray DVD or whatever streaming, the Google Fire Stick or
The
something
fire
like that.
stick, yeah.
I'm like, this is what I used to watch back in the day, and then put in the movie. But no, I'm excited because I think just seeing that amount of strength through film, even with the narrative being kind of hazy and skewed, there's nothing to say that there isn't an Aniska that existed who
Yeah.
tried to change the king's mind, or that there was a season of leadership where they were like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
But the reality is that it did happen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm about to say it definitely was.
And
Armies and women. Yes.
both the Agoji are real, both the Kingdom of Dahomey and both in the slave trade is real.
Right.
And
Right.
all of these things happened, whether we like it or not, for a reason.
That's it.
And
Right.
a lot of us are here because of it.
That's right.
And we're doing better now because it don't happen now.
We had
And the queen is dead. You know, it just,
Leave
she
the
ain't out
queen
here.
alone.
She out here. You know.
Leave the queen alone. Let her rest.
All right.
So
she is.
So we
Forever. I'm sorry. That was it. I had not been able to express myself about how I felt about all that, but I feel safe here.
I don't have a feeling about it.
You know, I want to feel like I didn't have a feeling about it, but I think a lot of it, and you know, I think a lot of people don't, and therein lies that apathy where you can either make jokes or you could be like, yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Or you could just be like
that.
You could be tied up in the drama of like, you know, how she did Diana, and you know what I'm saying. Like,
I kind of like that drama.
It was messy. It happened.
Was messy.
I mean, you still watch soap operas. So.
I do. I wanted to go back to something.
Go back.
I lost
Go
my
back.
train of thought.
I'm sorry.
I lost my. We were talking about the Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was saying things about like real life experiences and the world.
This is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lost my train of thought. Maybe it'll come back.
Maybe it'll come back. Or you could leave it in the comments.
I could leave it in the comments. I could do that. Yes.
But we thank you for joining us here. I want to thank you both for joining me for this review.
This was
It's
fun.
been a
This
long
was
time
cool.
coming. If I could create a panel that would be able to give a 2-minute review on the Black Panther.
That was my train of
That's
thought.
all of us. That's all of us.
Right, but if I
you
could
brought me
create
back to my
if I
train of
could get a panel about the Dora Milaje.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, because we were, you know, out with a group, and you know, can I say her name? Who we went out to the movie with?
Yeah, I guess it's
Who we go? Oh yeah, why not?
Okay, so Christian, my girl, what's up, girl? So she said what she appreciated was that this was real. You
Right.
know, not to discount Black Panther,
Yes.
but that is a comic book, and it's, you know,
and the Goje are the inspiration for what the Dora Milaje
Yes.
is.
so it was nice to see representation of the realness versus the Dora Milaje.
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay.
No,
That
I
was my thought.
appreciated that. But no, I was saying if I could get a panel of like all the people that I know who are excited to see Black Panther and to review it, the problem is about 15 of y'all, and y'all don't know how to keep your reviews to less than 2 minutes. So maybe
I don't know how you're gonna do that.
we'll see what
Part-
I can.
Different parts. I
Yeah,
guess.
you're gonna have to have it in parts.
We're
probably.
gonna see what we can try to do.
or
I'm
make it a
thinking
road show and you rent out a room.
Well,
somewhere.
that was the plan, is
Yeah.
to try to do maybe either record it live or at a bar.
Yeah.
And get people to come in
Yeah.
and give their review. 2 minutes. You get 2 minutes. And then I escort you off the premises. And that's it.
Wow.
Uh,
we had
but-
a church service now. You
Right.
get 2 minutes to make your remarks,
You know,
and then
Until
then we
somebody
get-
come
then
up
we
here
get
and
the
touch you
usher.
right here in the
long,
back.
and an usher will
They come touch you.
take
right
you off.
And there's nobody yelling, take your time, baby, because you got 2 minutes. Don't forget to like, share, and comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Once again, shout outs to Cheddar. Shout outs to Angie with an I.
This was fun.
Ain't it though? This
This is addicting.
talking
It
into a
is.
microphone.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
we've been doing it.
Lord.
We've been doing it for 5 seasons.
Now you done
and,
started something.
Make sure you guys go out and check our other episodes, and
And get some
obviously,
merch.
and get some merch. There's still merch out there
There's still
on the
merch.
thread list. The link is always in the bio, and she got a notepad.
Oh my
She-
god. She bought notes,
The
y'all.
merch.
This is one of my favorite barflies.
Yes, I am one of them.
Angie's a barfly too. She just didn't have the merch.
No. Guess I'll get in some.
Here you go. I appreciate it. As we always like to say,